Hello and welcome to the Genwunnerz Podcast starring Mega Mitch and
Jingles!
And today we are going to be trying something a little bit different. Basically what the premise of this podcast is sort of, would you say nostalgia based?
Yeah, basically just a big show of nostalgia.
Yeah, we're going to be going through a bunch of shows and games that we like from the 90s and 2000s and maybe some modern stuff based on those kind of things.
Yep.
We call it the Genwunnerz, not because we only play Generation 1 of Pokemon, but also because we played Generation 2 as well. I mean, there were some good ones in there. There was Cyndaquil, there was Totodile, frickin',
but let's face it, nothing after Gen 2 exists. So.
Yeah, nothing under Gen. So yeah, generally speaking, the vague premise is that it's going to be a Pokemon-related podcast. We'll talk about everything Pokemon-related, but it'll also just be a 90s kind of... circle jerk, where we just talk about things like Kim Possible, Rugrats, Pogs, Tarzos.
What was the other one? Cyber Chase.
Oh my gosh, I remember. I'm not sure if anyone remembers Cyber Chase.
I'm not sure if you guys know it. It's a bit obscure,
Yeah.
It was one of my favorites as a kid.
So like I said, we're going to go over 5 episodes of Pokemon at a time and sort of poke fun at it, give our impressions on each of the individual episodes, starting right from episode 1, which just the way that this starts off right off the bat with like the video game graphics, and then it just like seamlessly moves into like 2D. We actually have it on the screen in front of us right now. It's really, really cool the way that they use the classic graphics.
Yeah, it's just a really nice callback to the games and really gets you into the mood of the show and kind of helps you visualize what happens in the game.
But pretty much that's exactly what you felt when you were playing the game yourself as a kid. Yeah, it really like conveys like a child's imagination kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've actually written down. I'm not gonna like pretend that like we're not pre-prepared for this. I've written down like a couple of notes of like things that I either found to be like silly or just like no. First of all, Green Pokeball.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
a really odd addition. We never see that again throughout the show. I don't
think so. I think it's just a custom Pokeball.
Yeah, until of course the netball comes into play.
Oh,
but that's
yeah.
That's green
Johto
with the
in general.
With the black spiderweb.
I think that the silhouette at the start when Ash is watching the television is Bruno, because like it has a very similar like outline. Like obviously you can't tell like right off the bat. And also, what's kind of interesting about that is we'll probably talk more about this later, but kind of the ongoing like debate among fans of who is Ash's father. He's mentioned so few times early on in the anime, and then suddenly they just never talk about it again, like whatsoever.
Mr. Mime.
It's Mr. Mime. Like the episode where Mr. Mime is introduced is actually him coming back home after years of being out of Ash's life.
Yeah.
Like, hello, it's me.
Mime!
It's why Ash's mum takes such a liking to him. It makes a lot of sense. So I have, like, speaking genuinely here, I'm not actually joking around.
Yeah.
I have 3 theories of who Ash's dad might be. One is obviously the joke that everyone jumps to, Professor Oak, because like why is Ash's mother like in such a rush to like get?
They're definitely fucking behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah, they're totally like an item.
Who's that Pokemon? It's my Diglett.
Are you a boy or a girl? Oh, girl. Okay. Second one, is Giovanni.
Yep.
Because there's actually some not Japanese-based evidence, but some in the Pokemon Live musical, which a lot of people don't consider canon, but they still consider Giovanni's mother.
I've ever seen it.
It was very bizarre.
I can imagine.
It's what the kids today would refer to as a little bit cringe.
A little bit?
It's just a bunch of live actors on stage. But it did have some pretty good songs in there. I really liked the... Together forever, no matter how long.
As I said, I haven't seen it, so I can't.
That was in the Pokemon jukebox, man. That was like classic.
I probably know it, but I haven't seen it in a long time, so I can't remember.
I really like classic Pokemon music. That really gets the nostalgia going. Dodrio being used as a rooster.
Because they didn't have a rooster Pokemon. They
No,
still don't.
They don't have a rooster Pokemon.
Oh wait,
What the heck?
is Chikorita? No, Chikorita's more of a bird of prey. Hey,
Chikorita?
no, not Chikorita.
You mean Torchic?
Yeah,
Torchic's like a chicken. A chick Pokemon.
Yeah.
A chick.
But yeah, there's no chicken Pokemon.
No.
Oh, actually no, I think Blaziken is chicken.
And I just love how like Ash in the first episode of Pokemon wakes up late for his first Pokemon. And a freaking Gary has cheerleaders.
Why does he need cheerleaders?
Yeah, why does a 10-year-old kid need cheerleaders? Second of all, how did he get the cheerleaders in the first place?
It's implied that he's very rich. I'm not.
Is he though? I mean, I guess a Pokemon professor would make a lot of money.
He drives off in a fucking convertible.
Why is a 10-year-old driving?
He wasn't. He was riding on the back.
Oh, right. Who was driving? The cheerleaders?
They didn't show. They just showed the back end of the car driving away.
Game theory.
Game theory here.
Who was driving Gary Oak's convertible? Put it down in the comments below if you think it was Sans from Undertale. Oh gosh.
It was definitely one of the anthropomorphic things from Five Nights at Freddy's.
It was Freddy?
Yeah, it was Freddy Fazbear.
It was Golden Freddy. It was driving Gary's convertible.
Gary's such a fucking prick.
He really is. I wish he wasn't such a jerk to Ash, but then that's how he... I mean, people kind of prefer, like, the jerk rival kind of thing. Like, they made the rival not a jerk in, like, recent Pokemon games, and people hated it. Like, they absolutely hated it.
But he's just sitting there going, my Pokemon's so fucking cool, but I'm not going to show you what it is, so you just have to keep guessing.
And the other thing is when Ash actually goes into the professor's lab, as we're actually watching on the screen right now, he goes through like 3 of the Pokeballs one by one. He shows the Bulbasaur, the Charmander.
He's such a fucking troll.
But he's just standing there watching him like, you could have told him before he started opening Pokeballs. Why do you have empty Pokeballs laid out there?
Just because he's a troll and he wants to watch Ash squirm. He's just like, oh yes, I see. But that one was taken by the one that was actually fucking on time, you nerd.
You nerd! Oh god. He is a nerd though. Like, that's the other thing too, is like, in the first episodes it's established that like, he's such a huge Pokemon fanboy. He watches like, all these Pokemon battles religiously, and yet later on he has to learn for the first time what type advantage is.
Yeah, he's just like, what the fuck's a type advantage?
Can you do that face again? That was like an epic troll face. Sorry,
I do some pretty epic troll faces.
Sorry to go old school like that, but we're... For Ash? Or Gary? I don't know.
I was doing it for Ash.
Yeah.
But no, seriously though, like...
Maybe you were on time.
Oak knew that there was going to be 4 trainers coming in, yeah? 4 trainers coming in to get their new Pokemon. So why does he only have 3 starters that are applicable?
Yeah.
Why does he save the bullshit Pokemon for the 4th kid?
And also, I think you mentioned while we were watching, like, if he's such a world-renowned, like, famous Pokemon professor, what's he doing, like, in, like...
Yeah, what's he doing in the middle of the fucking nowhere where all the really common Pokemon are? You'd think he'd be up in the mountains or whatever studying, like, fucking... Moltres or whatever.
Like, I think there was, like, a reason for it in the manga... Like, okay, don't crucify me in the comments, because, like, I actually don't know the manga that well. But I think it was because, like, he situated his lab there because Mew was, like, really close by. But, like, there's no explanation for it in the anime. But nor should there be, maybe, because, like... I mean, the anime's supposed to be, like, oversimplified for the children and that kind of stuff. But it's still fun to make fun of, like... Yeah. Oh, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 Pokeballs.
Yep, that's a standard.
Yeah,
and,
that's
of course,
the
Dex. How Dex isn't fucking dead after being electrocuted is beyond me.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. And, it's... Dex in, like, Season 1 was actually really savage.
He was sassy as fuck. It's just like, first you need to awaken a Pokemon, you idiot.
Well, he doesn't specifically say that. It's like, anyone who would do anything other than this is stupid. It's like, and now she's like, I'm stupid.
I can just imagine Dex sitting there going, yes, you fucktard.
Yeah, you damn cuck.
How do you even know which way you're going?
That's not even the voice. The Dex's voice is something along the lines of like,
I am a computer.
I am a computer. No, that's still... That was probably a better Oak, me pinching my nose.
Why are we going as Oak?
I have no idea. Maybe... I can't even figure out how to, like, do a proper, like, Dex impression. It'd be like, Agumon, the not a Pokemon. Oh, gosh. What else was there? When Ash, dives into the river in the first episode... Yeah. I honestly think he just should have died there. No human would be able to survive that jump just right off the bat. It was such a shallow, like... Okay, so he's, like, up here, and it's, like, a shallow, like, water.
It wasn't shallow, because he jumped, and then there was, like, a fucking, Gyarados in the water.
But
it
was very rocky. No, but it was shallow in the area where he jumped, but it was, like, it led into, like, a bigger ocean, I think. I don't know, but, like, if... He could have, like, landed on any one of the rocks, like, closer to the edge of the waterfall. And if he had done that, then the rest of the Pokemon series couldn't have happened. One, if you go with the Ash Coma theory, then you could say that this is why he's permanently 10. But also, like, when Mewtwo comes around, he couldn't save the world from Mewtwo. He couldn't, like, meet all these, like, legendary Pokemon later in his life. It's just so.
Don't forget to change your underwear every day.
Yeah.
That's the part that we just got up to on the computer screen.
Yeah, sorry. Jingles wanted to have a visual while we're recording. It is good though. Like it definitely helps ground the podcast and keep it focused.
But his mum's sitting there going, "Don't forget to change your underwear every day." But as a scout, I've learned that you can in fact wear a piece of underwear 4 times. You can wear it the right way around, then you can wear it back to front. Turn it inside out, then back the front inside out.
I do like that we actually specifically have notes about this. Like, we need to talk about the underwear.
But in all seriousness, though, why doesn't Pikachu like being in the Pokeball?
That is a little bit strange, isn't it?
They've never actually really covered that.
It could be game theory. It could be like not PTSD, but could be based on trauma.
Yeah.
Like maybe he's had a trainer before Ash that didn't treat him very well, so he has like a bad association with Pokeballs.
Well,
that could be a thing.
What's inside Pokeballs is theorized to be a Pokeball paradise, yeah?
Well, some people theorize that. We've only seen it one time in the anime, and it was like for a gag of like showing Dragonite react.
Although it does show that the Pokemon are in fact still responding to shit.
Yeah. So the Pokemon, even though they're being stored as like data inside these tiny like capsules, they still somehow are able to react to things that are happening outside of their containers.
It probably has like some sort of audio input or something. Well, it does have external sensors, because otherwise how would it capture the Pokemon to begin?
Exactly, yeah. It need to know that the thing that it's hitting is actually a Pokemon.
So maybe Pikachu was just in there like doing lines of cocaine or whatever. but he just he owes money to his cocaine deal, so he doesn't want to go back in his Pokeball.
Like the Robot Chicken kind of thing, but like even further?
Yeah. Oh, Ash has no fucking clue what he's doing.
Well, he's shown a little bit of character development throughout the series, I'd say.
But yeah, now he actually knows what fucking type advantage is.
The one thing. Yeah. Oh, man.
Water is good against electricity, isn't it? Other way around, dude. Other way around.
At the very end of the episode, we were talking about how the really big thunder that Pikachu did.
Yeah.
Whether you brought it up, whether it was actually like a powerful thunder that Pikachu did, or whether he just redirected the lightning.
I honestly think that he was just redirecting the huge lightning bolt, because as soon as he redirected all the lightning, the clouds went away and it was a beautiful sunny day, except Pikachu was dead. But yeah.
No, he was tripping the fuck out, remember?
Right, yeah.
He just had like that big smile on his face. He was like,
dude, what the fuck? Pikachu was such a fucking jerk, though, in the beginning.
He really was, yeah. What was that? We had, like, a theory for, like, why he was, like, such a jerk to start off with. I don't remember.
Me either.
Yeah. Oh, because he's coming down from his cocaine high.
Yeah, so...
from his, like, meth, yeah.
I reckon the reason why he's such a jerk
is
because he doesn't want to go back in his Pokeball, right? Because he owes money to his meth dealer, or his Coke dealer or whatever. So he's just fucking coming down off his withdrawals. And he's just the biggest fucking prick because he hasn't had his fix yet.
And that's why. That's why he's such a meanie to Ash.
Notice as soon as he goes to the Pokemon Center and gets treated for his Coke addiction, how he's just
fine from then on.
Yeah, he's just chill.
It wasn't because Ash and him had formed, like, an actual proper bond. It was just because...
It's because he got cured of his withdrawals.
He went into rehab. So, at the very end of this episode, they show the Generation 2 Pokemon Ho-Oh for the first time. And we don't really see anything like that in, like, modern generations. Sometimes.
Very
rarely. But usually it's at, like, the tail end of a series. Like, one's coming down and it's leading into the next one.
Yeah. Then, the next game is already almost out. So we already know all that shit
No one knew anything about... Like, people didn't even know there was going to be a second generation of Pokemon. And here they are slotting in Ho-Oh into the first episode of the animated series.
Yeah, and that's, like, only maybe, 5 years after the first game was released? Less? So kids back then were just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, what the frick is this? That's one of the things that I loved about early Pokemon. I mean, I'm sure they still have it, but for me, Pokemon as a kid was like, it was like a mystery, right? It had this huge sense of mystery where it's like, what is that thing? Who is that thing? What the crap is a missing no kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
I just love going online and researching this shit.
Yeah, and of course the whole Mew under the truck thing.
Oh, the Mew under the. Are we going to go into Pokemon rumors? Let me tell you how to get.
We already covered that quite extensively on our
Game
Pokemon Yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you how to get Yoshi in Cerulean Cave.
You just have to turn around 3 times and say Bloody Mary in the mirror, yeah?
You beat the Pokemon League 50 times, and then you have to put only Pikachu in your party, and then you go all the way to the Cerulean Cave, but you have to turn around 3 times. And then you say Bloody Mary.
Alright. But only once.
Yeah. But, like, the first episode, though, I think it's pretty good. It kind of does the, like, hero's journey kind of thing. Not specifically for Ash, but more for, like, Pikachu, where he, like, kind of rejects the notion of going on an adventure, then it's, like, thrust into it.
He wants to be the hero of the story, but, like, immediately it's just life bitch slaps him and goes, nah, you're not the hero, you were late, you get the shit Pokemon.
In a lot of ways, Pokemon's more Pikachu's story than Ash's, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah, like, Pikachu's gone through, like, a lot of crap over the years. Like,
well, for a start, he's been partnered with Ash.
That is a point. That is definitely a point. Should we move on to the second episode?
Yeah, sure.
Where it's it's a little bit weird. First things first is Ash comes, like, running through into, like, what is it? Was it Viridian City? Yeah, it was Viridian City. And he's holding a hurt Pikachu, and Officer Jenny's just immediately like, that looks suspicious, I'm just gonna grab you.
Yeah. All the while, like, the Team Rocket poses right next to her. It's like, I wonder if that's Team Rocket.
I wonder if that's Team Rocket. Team Rocket was actually, like, legitimately, like...
They were scary villains in the first episode. Well,
it was implied that they're supposed to be, like, this heavy threat in the Pokemon world. You actually theorized that at the end of, spoilers, I suppose.
Spoilers. For a 15-year-old cartoon. Yeah, no.
No, I think it's a 20-year-old cartoon.
Spoiler alert, Pokemon are like tiny animals that you put in balls.
And then they evolve into Greymon. And then they go Super Saiyan 3.
Fuck, there's a Super Saiyan 3? I thought it only went up to Super Saiyan 4.
I thought it only went up to Superman. Sorry. But at the end of episode 2, it shows, like, all the Pikachus working together, chiming in to create, like, a big ball of energy. First of all, how do the people not know that it's just a terrorist attack that just blew up the Pokemon Center
because
straight
out?
Because
the entire Pokemon Center is just a and it just disappears.
And then,
like a huge fucking nuclear explosion. And Officer Jenny's just like, yeah, this happens all the time.
This is fine. It's like that meme with the dog where it just everything's on fire. It's like, this is okay. This is fine.
I'm gonna dye my hair.
But also, the 2 things come from that. Is 1, from then on, Team Rocket seem a lot stupider than normal.
Yep.
So it's probably like they probably got head damage or something.
My theory is that huge fucking lightning bolt that Pikachu does to them just fucking damages their brain. Because they were a huge threat. They had a really well put together plan.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're just dumb as bricks.
And that just happens immediately after, like, that one episode. Like, I want to see what Team Rocket was like pre... Oh, well, actually, we kind of do see that later on down the road. We see pre-Team Rocket. But even in Pokemon Chronicles, like, they seemed a lot smarter when they were younger.
Yeah. Or before the
Pre-Ash.
Pre-Pikachu.
Pre-Pikachu, yeah. PP. Pre-Pikachu.
You know what? I hate it when my Pokemon runs out of PP and they just can't get their PP up.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, and the other thing is they just suddenly become super obsessed with Pikachu, and they even explain explicitly why in, like, the following episode, where it's just like, that Pikachu has, like,
that Pikachu has awesome power that no other Pikachu has.
It's the only Pikachu you've seen thus far. Like, you could go into the Viridian Forest and pick up any Pikachu, or any of the other ones that were in that Poke Center that day.
Yeah, but they want Ash's Pikachu.
Specifically,
Yeah, because he's the one that delivered the lightning bolt, I guess, but... It's weird. They went from going any rare Pokemon to specifically Pikachu.
We want that one in particular.
We want this 10-year-old's Pikachu.
And you, like, made the joke that, like, if they actually presented Giovanni with the Pikachu, like, he'd probably just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Giovanni would just be sitting there going, dude, what the fuck? It's a Pikachu. It's an electric mouse.
And I know it's
common as fucking dirt.
It's as common as dirt? Wow.
What do you want me to do with this?
Well, there was that one episode, jumping ahead here, where they, like, show Togepi to Giovanni is like, what does it do? It's like, what do you mean, what does it? It's a Pokemon you've never seen before. Why don't you keep it and find out?
It cries sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's stereotypical. But I know it's considered non-canon, but in one of the songs on the Pokemon X album, I believe it was, the original...
Pokemon X had an album?
No, it was called Pokemon X, but it was a Season 1 musical album.
Oh.
It's like considered the best of Pokemon songs. And in the song Team Rocket's Rockin', Giovanni specifically says, and I quote, I want Pikachu, and this time don't screw it up.
But why does he want Pikachu?
No one knows.
Giovanni doesn't even know about Pikachu. Giovanni's just like, I just want Mewtwo, you know? I just want to blow up the world.
You had Mewtwo. You created Mewtwo.
I just want to blow up the world.
Are you looking forward to Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution?
I am.
I am. I think it's a really good idea. That, I know, I guess it's kind of our namesake, the Genwunnerz, but I really like that they're going back to a lot of, Generation 1 stuff lately.
Yeah. I think it's cool to see a facelift of the old generation.
I don't mean to rant. I don't mean to, piss off a bunch of new Pokemon fans, but I think that after, the first 5 Pokemon movies, they started to get repetitive as fuck.
Yeah, Pokemon movies
so bad.
They used to be kiddie, and they didn't really have that much of
They used to feel like actual events, like there was a new event every year, and it's like this massive, new legendary Pokemon.
But at the same time, they had genuine, heartfelt stories.
That's what I was going to say.
Weren't just...
They had stories in their own right that were really good. I tried to watch the Dialga movie in cinemas. I fell asleep, and I've never fallen asleep during even really boring movies. And Pokemon was the one to fucking do it to me. Jesus Christ. But yeah.
Maybe it is true. Gen 1 is the only generation that exists.
The only generation.
I mean, just fuck Gen 2. Fuck.
Hey, I like a
Gen 1.
Listen, I liked Diamond and Pearl X and Y. Actually, couldn't get that into Ruby and Sapphire. I don't know why.
I've never actually played Ruby and Sapphire.
Well, we should get onto that on Game and Chat for sure.
Yeah.
But moving right along, as the Muppets say, in the Pokemon Center at the start of the second episode,
yep.
Ash comes into the Pokemon Center, obviously sends Pikachu off, to,
Help, I fucking killed my Pikachu! Can I get a new one?
Send him right off to rehab. Nurse Joy's phone, goes off with the very stereotypical ring, 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 phone call. First of all, that would be an annoying ringtone if they, kept that in
Why
throughout
does
the Pokemon
every
anime.
phone have that?
Yeah, and also... and also video calls, which is a bit
Well, this was in the fucking 90s, so, video calls everywhere was wow, that's futuristic. It's happened.
Yeah, they basically not predicted that, but you know what I mean.
Well,
yeah.
basically.
They kind of predicted it, yeah.
It was kind of just wow, this is super futuristic, this will never happen without our timeline.
Yeah. My dad used to always say something along the lines of, he when he was talking to his dad about Dick Tracy comics, and there was always this, Dick Tracy would have this watch that had, all this technologically advanced stuff on it, and his father said, that will never happen.
Yeah. That'll never happen, today. Apple.
That'll never happen. The iWatch. I mean, Apple Watch. Damn it.
The watch out.
Yeah. The watch out. Are you going to make your own smartwatch called the watch out?
And it'll be smart because it'll have glasses.
No, okay. But, what I was going to say, though.
Back on topic. Is Nurse Joy's, video call goes off, and Ash comes around the counter, answers her phone for her. And it's why?
Why? It's okay. If I was at the hospital and the doctor just left the room and his phone went off, I'm not going to answer the doctor's phone.
Hi, I'm just some random 10-year-old. Can you leave a message?
And Oak's on the other end, and
a Pokemon.
Oak's on the other end, and he never explicitly states why he called in the first place.
He's just oh, hey, Ash, this is who I was meant to be talking to. I thought I dialed Cerulean.
I thought I dialed the Pokemon Center. Oh, Ash, you're there because...
Yeah, it's just...
And the thing is, he's cooking noodles on a Bunsen burner,
yeah? Yeah, he's cooking noodles in the Bunsen burner, but at the end of the call, he's just oh, that's my pizza!
Why? Now, he has to be high.
He's definitely high. He had...
Yeah.
What did he have on the pizza? Anchovies with spinach. That is definitely a high combination. Yeah. That is something you order when you're high.
Yeah.
Maybe he put the noodles on the pizza.
You think he put the noodles... Oh, it actually plays the next episode.
Bam, 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 bam.
But that was and that's the only mention that we get of Ash's father, like mostly throughout the Pokemon anime.
in the phone
Japanese.
call.
Oh yeah, in the
because
phone call.
Ash's mum is all like, "Your dad would be so proud of you because it took him like 3 weeks to get there."
But he'd be even more proud if you changed your underwear every once in a while. And in the Japanese version, they actually also mention Ash's grandfather. They say your father and grandfather would have been proud of you. So, yeah. I really wish that they would, like, I feel like they're not going to give, like, an answer to the Ash's father mystery until, like, the very, very end of, like, Pokemon.
I don't think they're going to get
And that's never going to happen.
They'll just be all like, yeah, Ash has a father, I guess.
No, he's the Immaculate Birth.
Are you saying that Ash is actually Jesus?
That Ash is Jesus, yeah, in the Pokemon world.
Then how come when he jumped off the cliff into the water, he didn't just fucking land on the water and die?
Oh, that's a good... like, as if it was, like, solid ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, here's an idea that I want to propose to you, and I want your opinion on it. Hypothetically speaking, if they, like, stopped the Pokemon anime, like, the most recent season with Ash, if they stopped the Ash season, and then continued and starting a new Pokemon anime with a new protagonist, like they completely replaced Ash, would you be for that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah? I mean...
Starting a new generation?
I mean, Ash is great, but he's a bit old hat, you know?
I actually saw this really cool fan art project where these people did like a next generation of Pokemon kind of thing. So it was like, I don't remember what the exact one was, but it was like Ash and Misty's like son and like Brock and whoever he's dating's daughter, and they're like, you know, they're the new trio with Jesse and James's son, and they're the new trio because they switched to the good side.
Evil trio? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Butch and Cassidy's like son and daughter are like the new evil trio.
Yep.
And and like I saw this and I thought it was really cool. I wish I could like credit the artist or like point people in the direction of who this was. In fact, I think I can. I'll just put like some fan
links
art on
in the
screen.
description.
Yeah. I'm sure I can.
If we find it, that is.
They're actually like because of their fan art, they didn't get like work for Pokemon, but they because of their like Tumblr where they put all their like art publicly, they're actually like they're actually a storyboard artist for Cartoon Network now.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
I think that's really cool how all these people who are like independent artists on like Tumblr and DeviantArt are actually getting like real jobs in the animation industry. And I think that's really cool.
It's really cool when that sort of shit happens. When like the companies notice the work of the fans and go, "We want you."
Yeah.
I choose you.
I do worry sometimes because like what if I accidentally say something in one of these podcasts or Game and Chat and then someone from the animation industry comes along and is like, "Well, we would have hired you, but you said this one thing this one time about Ash being high in a podcast." So
no, it wasn't Ash, it was Pikachu.
Right, Pikachu was high. No, we said. Oh no, we also said Oak was high. Where everyone is like, it's Tokemon.
Tokemon, got a Tokemon. Our bonds will pull through.
I was just remembering this thing from Game Grumps. I know we shouldn't. I try to not reference Game Grumps, but like the frickin' Danny did like Aaron made a joke about being high, and Danny was just like every single time you do an impression of someone that's high, it just emphasizes how much you've never been high before.
Yeah, because people who have never been high think they know what it's like, but they don't.
And they just went on a rant, not a rant, but they went on like an ongoing joke about Tokemon. It's like, when you're high, you start to float. That's what it means, literally high. Anyway.
And you just fly into the sky.
I almost spent out my
I guess you could say that you almost coffeeed it up.
Oh, coffee!
Kill me. Pikachu, that when he comes out of the Nurse Joy's office, how he's got the little headband around his thing and the light bulb. It looks like he's having a shit ton of ideas. Just really bright ideas. Just ding!
Hey, Vsauce, idea here. Let's see. The disappearing lipstick animation goof.
Yeah.
It was just one frame. I was just like, wow, Jessie's lips look oddly sharp in that one shot. And then just the next shot, it's like she's wearing the lipstick again. It's like, oh.
Yeah, we were looking at it going, wait, Doesn't she normally wear lipstick?
It's like,
there it is.
It's like, I guess they add that in the next episode.
Oh, did we cover the Pokédex, how it was missing the D-pad in the first episode?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, like, the first time Ash opens his Pokédex in the first episode, the first couple frames of animation has the D-pad, but when he fully opens it, it just fucking disappears.
And also, the Pokédex was based on the Game Boy as well.
Yeah,
initially.
well, you brought that up.
Did I? Okay.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I wasn't sure, because I did bring it up when we were, like, watching it earlier. I was just like, hey, Jingles, I'm not sure if you know, but every Pokédex is based on the current Nintendo handheld.
Well, it's pretty obvious at the time.
Wait a minute, does that mean,
Scrotum Dex is based off the 3DS?
I think, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, Scrotum Dex.
Scrotum Dex. You mean Rotom? Oh, damn it! You made me say it! Whoa, Ash's mom is kind of hot.
Not with that hairstyle. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
so she was wearing the towel around her head because she just came out of the shower, and then she's like, nah, not really.
Hey, the towel around the head look is kind of cute sometimes.
She's just wearing the turban. It looked like a turban.
Okay, I guess, but that's not what my mind would have jumped to.
What does your mind jump to?
Just that it was a cute girl wearing a towel.
Turban, yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, no, Ash's mum is kind of cute. That's probably why Professor Oak, Giovanni, and Mr. Mime want to bang her.
Yeah, oh god. And, at the very end, with, No, wait, what were we just talking about? I don't want to, like, move along too fast. Right before Ash's mum?
Ash's mum has got it going on. We were talking about the animation errors.
The Pokédex, specifically. Yeah. Well, what I was going to ask is, do you think that with the Nintendo Switch, that with the next generation of Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch, if they're going to base the Pokédex on the Switch?
Maybe, but at the same time, the Pokédex is meant to be a pocket device, and the Switch is not what I'd call a pocket device.
I kind of like the current version of...
Maybe it'll just be the Joy-Cons that are snapped together, and then to open the Pokédex, you just pull the Joy-Cons apart,
like
and a holographic screen appears.
That would be cool. Yeah. That's a nice idea for a Pokédex, yeah. I actually kind of like the Rotom Dex, because it's kind of brought the personality back into the Pokédex.
Yeah, I kind of like it, but I also kind of don't like it because...
He's a little annoying.
He's so annoying. I don't know.
We were watching the comeback episode where Misty and Brock... spoilers. Misty and Brock return in Sun and Moon.
Yep.
And that was, chock full of references, which was...
I felt like the pacing was really off in that episode. It was just...
I don't think it was a good episode, but I did appreciate the references.
It was a good nostalgia trip, but it was a horrible episode.
Yeah, because it's just kind of this random thing happens, and then that random thing happens, and then that random thing happens.
Oh, hey, look, it's Misty. Oh, hey, look, it's Brock. Oh, hey, look, someone got electrocuted. Oh, hey, look, now they've gone. Hey, and look, now we found them.
And then the Pokemon disappeared.
Hey,
now
look,
they're back.
now it's Team Rocket.
Hey,
look, now a random Pokemon came out of nowhere and took him away for some reason that we don't really know. What the fuck?
What was the thing you appreciated about Mecha Meowth's tail?
Who?
Mecha Meowth.
Oh,
said that you liked something about
had a wheel on the back of it and was used as a stabilization device.
Oh, that is clever, yeah.
Team Rocket had a mecha version of Meowth and it was 10 feet tall or whatever. And, yeah, I noticed that little detail and I thought it was pretty cool.
So, at the end of the second episode of Pokemon, Ash just kind of blows up the Pokemon Center and faces no repercussions for it.
Yeah,
it's like, we're terrorists now!
We mentioned it a bit before, but Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy just yeah, it's okay, this happens all the time.
I was that's fine, that's okay. It's like the taxpayers have to pay for it, not us.
I mean, I know we almost died, but it's just water under the bridge.
It'd be fun. Has there been an explosion that big in Pokemon since that episode?
Well,
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
There's been a lot of...
Yes, Mewtwo, when he blows up the entire fucking island.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's just I hate humans.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun going through each of the Pokemon episodes, because we got a lot to say.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Pokemon is a really expansive universe. I love how Misty, when her bike gets broken, is just fuck Pikachu, you broke my bike. I want a new one right fucking now. And Ash is all my Pikachu's dead, right? And then she's oh, yeah, well, that's a bit of a shame. But where's my fucking bike?
Where's my fucking bike? You better pay for my bike, ass catching my fucking throwing at you.
I mean, I kind of get where she's coming from because bikes are really expensive in the Pokemon universe. They're $1 million.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know this is a bit further down the notes, but the fact that in the following episode when they go to get some food at the Pokemon Center or something like that, and the bill comes down to $1,150.
Yeah,
and it's holy crap, that's a lot of money for food. It's they literally just took the yen symbol from the original. It wasn't polka dollars, it was yen.
Yeah.
And they just put a dollar over it. They didn't even, like, put a decimal point there.
Yeah,
like,
they just changed it to the dollar sign. It's just like, dude, that's
like,
a really expensive lunch.
Because, like, yeah, the equivalent would have been, like, $150, which is still a lot of money for, like, a lunch. But...
Honestly, though, like, the Pokemon series is meant to be based in the really far future, so I guess inflation?
You think, okay, that definitely makes a little bit of sense, yeah.
Yeah.
MatPat went, like, to a lot of effort to, like, try and narrow down what, like, like, the equivalent of Poké Dollars would be exchanged with, like, the American dollar.
In the game?
Both, I think. Oh, wait, maybe. I think he kind of counted the game and the anime as, like, the same thing.
Well, that's really
I don't think he makes a distinction.
Because, like, the currencies change really often.
Yeah, true.
Like, because, you know, in the anime they use dollars, and in the games they use Poke.
Didn't they switch to, like, Poké Dollars later down the track? Do they still use the word dollars in the anime?
Yes.
In
I'm not sure
anime?
in the modern anime, because I haven't watched the anime in fucking years.
Here's another thing that we pointed out is, like, a lot of things from the old anime have been, like, retconned in the newer anime.
Yeah.
For example, there were fucking real animals in the Pokemon anime early on. Like, there were worms,
like, there was... Yeah,
birds.
Pidgeotto was eating a worm.
Yeah, and, like, there was literal fish. Not, like, Magikarp and Goldeen. There was, like, actual fish in the ocean.
Just like a regular
in some
carp.
episode. Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, like, I can't remember which episode it was, but... Oh, it was the one where they went on the boat and SSN and it, like, sank. It cuts to a shot outside the ship, and there's just fish swimming by. Normal fish. It's like, how is that possible?
I always thought it was a bit fishy.
Yeah, I got the joke. I got the joke. Podcast is fucking cancelled! You get out of here! You get out of here!
Yeah, alright. Bye.
You're gonna slam the door? You can't complete the joke unless you slam the door. There we go. Okay. Alright, you can come back now. You can come back.
Yeah.
Where do they get the R's for the Team Rocket mottos, do you think? Do they just, like, appear out of space-time, or do they have to build them fresh?
Well, maybe they're holographs?
Baby, they're holographics?
I said maybe.
I thought you said baby. Yeah.
Maybe Jesse's hair, because it's really big, just has a holograph projector in the back, and it's just stored in it.
I think that Jesse's hair, like, defies physics, like, entirely.
I mean, it is anime.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
And standing next to James right now is a floating orb that is floating for no apparent reason. So yeah, I think it's safe to assume that anime doesn't know what physics is.
I mean, it could be propelled just by its own...
Farts. I mean, it is coughing.
Yeah, true. Oh no, it just farted all over the place, and now Nurse Joy and Ash and Missy are, like, running out.
They're so nefarious in the second episode.
Yeah, true.
Oh, what about the Pokeball teleportation technology? That is just never shown again.
Right?
Where Nurse Joy is just sitting there like, oh, we gotta protect the Pokeballs.
I think in the Japanese version they, like, vaguely reference it, like, later down the track. But in the English version there's, like, no reason for, like, so they have the teleportation technology where they can, like, move the Pokeballs from one Pokemon Center to another one further away. But in a later episode there's one of the plots, the plot detail, the thing that gets the episode going is that Ash has to deliver a bunch of Pokemon from one Poké Center to another across this bridge because, I guess the teleportation technology was either non-existent, or they just forgot about it, or it just broke down.
My theory was that perhaps he was going to a smaller Pokemon Center that just didn't have the facilities of a larger one. Because the one that he's in currently is a really large Pokemon Center.
Yeah, much bigger one.
Like, the first thing Ash says when he sees it is, whoa, that's huge!
That is true. There are ones that are, like, smaller and ones that seem to be much more technologically advanced.
So maybe this expensive. One is a big Pokemon Center, like a main hospital. Yeah. And the one that he was at was just like a small town doctor's office. Or the equivalent of. I love the scene where he's just picking up the Pokeballs off the ground after Team Rocket bursts in. Yeah. And he's just like, I'll just use these random Pokemon. And he just throws it and there's an empty ball. And it's all like, why the fuck is it empty? And
yeah, I remember this because Nurse Joy said, some of them are empty. And we both simultaneously went, why? Like, why is that just empty Pokeballs?
Surely that would just make a logistical nightmare.
Yeah,
just
right?
A bunch of half-filled, half-empty Pokeballs.
Yeah.
And in a state of emergency, you're not going to sit there and go, full, empty, full, empty. You're just going to teleport all of them, and half of them are going to be empty.
Well, that's what, the way that Richie and Ash were able to tell the difference between their Pokeballs later down the line is that Richie put stars on his. Why does no one else put, like, things on their Pokeballs to be like, this is mine, let's put a name tag on that, this is mine?
Just whack a penis sticker right on it.
Yeah, just...
Nobody will mistake their Pokeball.
just etch in like a tiny little dick. Oh god!
Didn't we make a very similar joke?
We made a joke about custom Pokeballs in the first episode of our Game and Chat Plays Pokemon Yellow, which link in the description.
Shameless plug.
Episode 3.
Yep.
Where Ash attempts to catch the Caterpie. A Caterpie. And don't look at me like that.
That was a really bad joke.
It really was. One of the first... I think that's... doesn't he catch both a Caterpie and a Pidgeotto in that episode?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Because he tries to use the Caterpie to attack the Pidgeotto, and that ends horribly. For reasons unbeknownst to me.
Yeah. Which Pokemon was it where Ash like goes to the Pokemon and it's just like, wait, come back! And they like jump back into the Pokemon. It was Caterpie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Caterpie like jumps back into the Pokemon. Ash like, wait, come back! And then you made the joke. It's just like jumps into the Pokeball after it. How does a Pokeball tell a difference between like a Pokemon and a human? How are humans not considered Pokemon?
Maybe they are. Maybe just nobody tries to capture.
No one's tried to capture a human.
Okay. And can you capture dead bodies?
You could just dispose of like dead bodies.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
someone just murders someone. It's like, oh, throw them in the Pokeball.
Another question.
Yeah.
If you have a Pokeball with a Pokemon inside it and you destroy the Pokeball, what happens to the Pokemon? Does the Pokemon die?
I guess it would have to.
Or does the Pokemon just materialize?
As in it like comes out of the ball as it's being destroyed, or like after it gets. I don't know.
Surely there would have to be some sort of safety feature in case that happens, because Pokemon are living things.
Well, I mean, that's like kind of taking into the logic of like portals, for example. Like if you're halfway through a portal and like the portal like collapses in on itself, you'd get like chopped in half, right?
Yeah, true.
So I think it's similar to like Pokemon, where like if a Pokeball's being destroyed, then what you're going to get is like a bloody mess that like couldn't like deform out of like data in time.
Or maybe it just has
like it's horrific to think about, but this is like probably what the case is.
Maybe the Pokeball's hard drive is like some sort of black box device that is just airplane black box
Oh,
device.
right, yeah.
So just a data backup that just is really hard to destroy.
Okay.
So maybe if the ball itself gets destroyed, you can still retrieve the data of the Pokemon from the black box or hard drive or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like the data gets like sent off elsewhere.
Not elsewhere. It's still within the Pokeball, but the hard drive itself is really durable.
Durable.
Yeah, not indestructible, obviously, but like if something that would normally destroy a Pokeball, like being run over by a car, would the data would still be remain intact because the storage device itself.
I just love that we're going into like the nitty gritty of like Pokeball technology.
It's really interesting because they never explain how they work.
No,
it's just a beam of red light and the Pokemon's caught.
We have seen what like a proto Pokeball looks like before, like in the Pokemon Forever movie.
Yeah, that's the nuts. Yeah.
No, not a nut. It's like a steampunk version of a Pokeball where like Samuel Oak twists like a knob and like it like latches out and like the data comes out. So like that means Pokeball technology has to be at least as old as like Oak is, because like Oak was a kid when that
even
early
older
proto
than that,
Pokeball.
because in Pokemon Silver you can create custom Pokeballs by getting Capricorn nuts, and there's blue Capricorns and blue Capricorns, and like you take these nuts to a person and he crafts you custom Pokeballs out of these nuts.
I do feel like we should like dedicate an episode to like ancient Pokemon history.
Yeah,
like things that are like canon to Pokemon, but like from years and like what's considered canon, but from years ago.
Yeah,
like
that'd be fun.
Classic, like the invention of the Pokeball, or like how Pokemon were used in like medieval times. It is interesting to.
Would they use? But you know what? Let's leave it.
Yeah. The interesting thing about that too is like. I can't remember which video it was that talked about this, but I'd give credit to the YouTube video I saw it in if I could remember it right now. But there was this YouTube video which talked about how there's like certain technologies that like came about. It was my friend Friggin' Boom.
Yeah.
Friggin' Boom Toys. He talks about how there are certain like technologies in like war and like, you know, all this other stuff. Because the reason that castles were made to be like really big and all this sort of stuff is to like keep like invaders out.
Mostly Vikings.
Yeah, exactly right. But like if you have like Charizards and shit, you could just like, so there's like no reason for castles to exist if you had like these really big Pokemon that can like.
True, but if, for example, the Vikings, actually, would there even be a medieval age in Pokemon? Because it is post-apocalyptic, canonically.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure that Pokemon is
Did they ever
post-apocalyptic.
confirm that Pokemon was post-apocalyptic? Because they did have an ancient, like, medieval era, I think.
Okay, maybe it's like...
There's, like, at least one Pokemon game where they talk about, like, Paris, Horsey, Raticate, Dignomite, Kadabra, Weepinbell, Ditto, Cloyster, Caterpie, Sandshrew, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Golem, Pikachu! Sorry, the Poké Rap was on the screen, I had to sing it. Jingles, I had to sing the Poké Rap.
I don't think you do.
I had to sing the Poké Rap.
I really don't think you did.
I had to sing the Poké Rap.
More like a Poké Crap, if you know what I mean. Hey, I should die. How dare I insult that song? But no, back to topic.
Song. Sorry.
With the medieval shit, you would assume that if Pokemon was like the real world, then the Pokemon would be native to certain lands.
Yeah.
So the Norse lands, like you know, Denmark and all, Greenland and all that shit, don't have lizards of any kind because it's really cold. So they would only have shit like I don't know. Help me out here. What's a snow type Pokemon?
Snow Ice Vulpix.
Yeah, they'd have an ice Vulp. They'd have ice.
Alolan Vulpix.
That would work because they have Fennec Foxes and shit over in Greenland.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they would have those sort of Pokemons, and over in quote England unquote, they would have different type of Pokemon.
Can we talk about how Misty was afraid of the Caterpie? Doesn't like bugs, but apparently also doesn't like carrots and peppers.
Yeah,
carrots are fucking delicious. Fuck you, Misty. But I do like how the whole theme of the episode was just kind of like, I don't consent to this, and Caterpie's just like, oh, friend zoned again.
and that's when he walks up into his Pokeball, and Ash is like, oh come on, man, it's not that bad. Can I come too?
It's okay. Take me with you. Like he opens the Pokeball like, take me with you. I want to go to Pokemon Paradise Land.
Where he can just shoot himself up with meth all day. But yeah, what was I saying?
Oh, we were talking about, like, ancient Pokemon Ice Vulpix.
No. We'll save that for another video.
Yeah, we'll save that for another video.
Like, dedicate a video entirely to theorizing ancient Pokemon shit. Because that is a topic that can be covered all fucking day.
Well, yeah, there's literally, like, a video my friend Friggin' Boom Toys did where he, like, talks about that specifically. He does a lot of, like, interesting videos where he talks about, like, some of the scarier Pokemon which would be weird if they existed, like, in real life. Like, there's a sandcastle that literally, like, consumes kids.
That's
like
my fetish.
Children that... God damn it, Jingles!
You know, this is why we can't have nice things.
Oh, yeah. I remember. So the Caterpie, right?
Yep.
The one that got friend-zoned. At the very end of episode 3, when Misty goes to like stroke its head, like to pet it, Ash is like, come on, like Caterpie saved your life, you have to like reward it somehow. It's like, oh, okay. And I was like, I swear if it fucking string shots. And then like she touches it lightly and it, like immediately like just string shot bursts out. It's just like, I fucking knew it.
And it evolves into Metapod and just becomes really hard at the slightest touch.
And I just love in the following episode, in episode 4, when they run into the hardcore weeaboo.
Fucking weeb.
Where it's just like Metapod versus Metapod, and it's two guys like for hours just looking at each other, deep into each other's eyes, sweating and going like, harden, harder.
Mine's harder than yours.
It's fucking ridiculous, honestly.
But nah, that kid was a fucking weeb. No matter which way you slice.
He was a cosplay nerd.
Because, you know, he's just like...
Also,
dressed in a samurai suit, and he pulls out a samurai sword and goes, I'm bound by the samurai way.
And the sword, like, bended slightly.
I can be your angle and your demon.
I can be your angle and your devil.
Yeah. But yeah, like, and there's also no way that kid's sword was real.
Yeah, no way.
Because, you know, like, I'm not sure if anyone knows about samurai swords or katanas or whatever, but it was made out of shit fucking metal.
Yeah.
Really hard, really sharp, but if you were to flex that sword, it would just shatter. And this guy just grabs his sword and flicks it, and it just it just wobbles.
Kind of reminds me though of like I know this is like completely going off topic. When Trunks like caught his own sword with his fingers. Remember when Frieza just went like, "You fucking bitch!
I'm going to long sword your ass." That was disturbing.
Yeah, that was pretty disturbing.
I love it.
I love Dragon Ball. Oh yeah, we talked about can you hide a dead body in a Pokeball. Would waste be an issue in the Pokemon world? Because like if they can already like convert like physical matter into data, what's to say they can't do that with garbage?
True.
Yeah.
But that would still create a garbage problem when they fill up the hard drives with the data of the garbage.
Well, who's to say it's a hard drive? What if it's just like another like dimension? We know that other dimensions exist in Pokemon because of Dialga and Palkia. Oh, but we don't know if humans can tap into that, though.
Is that why the Pokemon, those extra dimensional Pokemon in Sun and Moon are really pissed? Because
we've been filling up the universe with garbage?
Yeah. It's like, stop shitting in our universe!
I swear, we're going to get something about the Pokemon lore wrong, and the people in the comments are going to be like, okay, fucking first of all... They don't exist in another dimension. They exist in another universe.
No, I'm pretty sure they do exist in another dimension.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, not just waste isn't like trash. Waste isn't like human waste.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
gosh.
it's just like this big Pokemon's just sitting there minding his own business, and all of a sudden, he just gets shat on. It's like, why?
We all know what it's like when you get shit on by a bird, so... it's basically that equivalent, but for, like, giant dimensional creatures.
And just human shit just... Oh,
Yeah.
come on, man! Or
I just washed this suit!
Or someone who's just had a real spicy meal at Taco Bell. It's just like...
KFP.
KFP. But no, it'd just be like... Oh, that would be horrifying.
Yeah.
I wonder why those Pokemon are so pissed off.
Also, Pinsir cannot learn Tackle.
Yeah, man.
Legally cannot learn Tackle.
Hacks, right?
Hacks!
That weeb is hacking.
Hacks!
I mean, it's a pretty shit move. Don't know why you'd want to hack it into a Pokemon anyway.
Yeah,
But...
true.
Hacks!
Hacks! Can you do that one again? Hacks! No, yeah, the funny voice one.
Hacks!
That was... I fucking love the way you do that.
But yeah, that weeb kid is just really nerdy. It's like, I must challenge you to a Pokemon battle now because of my honor. And I already
because of my honor.
And I already fought all of the other kids from the Pallet Town, and you know,
he's fucking Zuko from like Avatar, but like a nerd. I have to defend my honor.
You're shit.
Yeah, you're shit.
All the other kids from Pallet were really fucking good, but you're just shit because you abandoned your Pokemon.
Alright, I have a question for you. Not entirely Pokemon related. Do caterpillars know that they're going to become butterflies? Is it like halfway through their life they're just suddenly like, I'm gonna just like wrap myself in this random shit? Just
I
all of
don't
a sudden.
think they know that they're going to become a butterfly per se, but they do know obviously what they're doing.
But they're aware that they have to go into like a metamorphosis process.
Yeah.
While
Actually,
it's happening.
a really interesting process because they literally liquefy themselves and completely reform their body.
That's metal as fuck, dude.
Pretty fucking metal.
That's fucking...
Butterflies are metal as fuck.
I love how we said that at the same time. So, wait, do caterpies liquefy themselves when they're in the metapod?
I mean, they would have to.
Yeah, if it's based on real life.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I learned in
That's
my
where
animation.
the screenshot comes from.
That's one of the things I learned in my animation course, where even if you're creating a fictional creature, the way you make it like likable, or you make it communicate it to an audience, is you base it on something realistic. So even if like, for example, dragons don't actually like exist per se, but you still base their wing movement on like a thing that actually exists.
For example,
right?
a bat.
Yeah, like a bat or a bird or something like that to make it realistic.
Or a kangaroo.
Yeah. So, so yeah, because the eye will be able to detect if something doesn't move realistically or doesn't move like a living creature.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if the wings just went vertical rotation, just it would just look stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So it is interesting. I think that's like what MatPat does, where he tries to apply real world logic to like fictional worlds, but I think he goes way overboard in a lot of cases.
But that's what makes it entertaining.
It is what makes it entertaining.
MatPat
like,
isn't exactly what you
he
would
memorized Mario's height.
call 5'1".
Yeah.
Man.
He actually got like I'm sure it was like just a joke, but it seemed like he was actually getting like legitimately angry by the fact that like Nintendo kept changing their mind on what Mario's height was. It's like, come on, I've looked at every single game. Why the fuck are you doing this to me? He didn't say that, but
yeah, but like understandable because his job is literally measuring Mario's height, and if he has to do it every time he makes a video, it would be annoying.
Hey, MatPat, how tall is Sans? Is he the Pope?
I think he's. I can play it on the ocarina.
You can.
I can play that on the ocarina.
Do you have the ocarina here?
No.
That's okay then.
I was gonna, but I forgot it.
That's okay. We'll save that for the Zelda podcast.
Yeah. Also, the ocarina would probably max out the mic, and it wouldn't sound very nice.
We should get the kazoo instead.
I broke my kazoo.
They're
only $6.
That's my favorite Zelda game, the Kazoo of Time.
Yes. Shortly followed by the Ukulele of Time. No, sorry, the Ukulele of Tim. My bad.
Ukulele of Tim? It's Tim's ukulele?
Yeah.
Yeah. He once punched a Hawaiian!
I hope he just punches me.
Oh, shit. Wait, what the...
So we were referencing a show that Mitchell introduced me to. It's like Whose Line Is It Anyway, but it's
Improvaganza.
It's more of a modern version.
It was a modern version.
Yeah,
when Whose Line wasn't on the air anymore.
It uses all the same actors as before. It's just modern.
I really love improv games. For a while I wanted to do my own like YouTube version of like Whose Line Is It Anyway, but it was really hard to like get people together to do something like that. That's kind of like what the presentation game was when we did
kinda. That was actually really fun.
We should do some improv games for sure.
Yeah.
We could even do them on the podcast, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, like, let's do one off the cuff right now. So I'm going to start a sentence. We have to make a sentence that makes sense, right?
Yep.
Let's do it one word at a time. In fact, let's make a story. It has to make sense. Once
upon
a
Tim
there
was
a
person
who
ate
a
magical
butterfly
and
it
gained
a
super
bite
and
it
was
amusingly
massive.
That'll do. I guess that'll do. Where were we? Episode 5. Team Rocket bury themselves alive. And then Ash and Misty run into a stoner and a rock star.
Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Go play.
For those who don't get it, it is Brock's father who just happens to be selling rocks on the side of the road.
That can't be a very sound business practice. Just, I'm selling rocks that you can find literally anywhere.
Business hasn't been so good as usual.
He actually says that at some point in the show. He's like, business hasn't been very good. And it's like, well, duh. He's selling fucking rocks.
How long would he have had to have been doing that for? Like 5 years? 10?
Yeah, he would have been doing it for a while. Because he reveals that he gave up and came back but couldn't bring himself to reinsert himself in the family.
Well, where did he go to in the first place?
He was a Pokemon trainer, so he just wanted to become the very best. The best there ever was.
A Pokemon trainer. So, like, that's the premise of the show. Alright.
Except he failed.
Yeah, what... So how did Brock become gym leader? Is it something he chose or something that his dad forced onto him?
I think that he became the Poke gym leader simply because it was a job. They didn't really explain.
They don't really explain how people become gym leaders in the first place.
Yeah.
I think there's like an application process because like they mention it in like a later episode of the anime.
Yeah. Actually, they mention it in that episode how his dad was all like, he's got so much more potential than just being a local gym leader. So there would have to be some sort of process to becoming one. But I honestly think that they didn't explain how he got the position, but I think that perhaps because he had to care for his 10 brothers and sisters, that it was just a job. And it was a way to make ends meet.
I do like the fact that Brock is currently like in the anime, in the Sun and Moon anime, training to be a Pokemon doctor. And
he still wants to breed with Pokemon, though.
Oh yeah, he still wants to fuck them. But I'm just saying that he also has other ambitions in addition to that. And the other thing too is that freaking Brock's brothers and sisters, when they like grab onto like Ash's arm, and it's like, my conscience is stopping me from like attacking, and it's like, surely you would feel all these like children, and also why would like your conscience be represented by a bunch of kids? Like, groping different parts of your body? That's weird. That's weird.
Maybe Ash just I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. Why would that be your conscience?
Yeah, why does Ash have kids on the mind? That's weird.
Well, he is a kid, so, you know.
That is true, but he's like 10.
That's higher than I can count.
And Joy is the older sister of the Viridian City Joy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to note, and I didn't notice this as a kid, but each one of the Joys and Jennies have like a different like symbol on their hats.
Yeah.
And badges, I think it was. Or was it just the hats?
Just the hats.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't actually have badges. Well, Jenny does, obviously the police badge.
Yeah.
But for Jenny, it's a different gem on her hat.
Right, yep.
And for Joy, it's just a different symbol. Oh,
Colour?
no, colour.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the cross, but it's a different colour. I think the first Joy had a blue cross for some reason.
And also, in episode 5, when Ash is just suddenly like, I'll beat him! I was just imagining, like, Ash just running into the gym and just sucker punching him in the face, like,
just king it!
Just bam! It's like dead body on the ground. Like,
I win! Just picks the badge off the dead body.
Yeah, just grabs the badge and walks out. You should just do that to every gym leader, where he just walks in, punches him in the face, takes the badge and walks out.
That's how Pokemon works.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised that they don't, like, humans aren't more violent in the Pokemon world.
One thing that we wanted to cover from episode 1 was how wild Pokemon are jealous of human-trained Pokemon.
Right, yeah, they mentioned that. Dex, I believe, says it at one point where it's just like, wild Pokemon are jealous of human-trained Pokemon. And I was just like, well, why though?
And I thought that perhaps because the wild Pokemon, from watching trained Pokemon, can see that there is some sort of symbiotic relationship between Pokemon and trainers. Like, they are both stronger being together.
That might be it. It might just be that they're stronger, like, when they work together.
Yeah, like, a trained Pokemon can do so many more things than a wild Pokemon can ever dream of.
Because it's kind of similar to, like, the thing in, like, I'm going, like, a bit off topic here, but in Mega Man Battle Network, there's this, like, concept that, like, the net navies, or like even Digidestined, for example, with Digimon, there's like the human character, and then there's the like robot or the creature that they like command in battles and stuff like that. And like, but like for the example in like Mega Man Battle Network, they just like upload chips, right? And they give powers to like their robot like guy that's like battling. Now, but every single time, like, they win a fight, it's always, I did it. Me, the human, did it. It's like, what the fuck did you do? You just, like, why can't the Pokemon just, like, do their own thing? And, like...
and in Pokemon, it's like, you did it, Pikachu! You really showed that person!
But, like, all the trainer does is just shout out commands. Like, the Pokemon already knows how to do the thing.
Yeah.
Like, why do they have to wait for the trainer to, like, call out specifically?
Well, actually, in Smash Bros., interestingly enough, using Snake's taunt on his home stage triggers a kind of bit of secret dialogue. And if you do that with the Pokemon trainer on the scene, it actually explains that the Pokemon doesn't actually know what to do. It's the trainer who has to tell the Pokemon what to do.
It's Smash Brothers where we got the fucking answer to this mystery?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, who was answering the question? It was...
Mei Ling, probably.
No, it wasn't Mei Ling.
The
It was Otacon.
Otacon. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Otacon would know that shit. He went to Otacon. He's a nerd.
But yeah, he basically explained that the Pokemon, whilst it knows what to do, it doesn't know how to do, or it knows how to do the stuff, but doesn't know what to do. So the trainer, from the outside perspective, shows the Pokemon what it needs to do in order to succeed.
That's pretty interesting. So it's not like the Pokemon like actively knows the moves themselves. It's something that
they know the moves. They just don't know how to apply them in battle.
That makes sense. Yeah. So that also ties into the whole symbiotic thing.
Yeah.
So that's consistent. If like the Pokemon writers in the anime actually thought that far ahead, which I think is giving them too much credit, to be honest.
Let's be honest, yeah.
Because like there's so many fucking other plot holes that they don't explain in the slightest about how the Pokemon universe works.
Yeah.
But like if they thought that far ahead, with the whole like, wild Pokemon are jealous of like human trained Pokemon because it's a symbiotic relationship, and they work together better in like battles and can help each other survive in the world. Like that's that's really good.
Yeah.
If they thought that far ahead.
Well, I don't see why they wouldn't have, because really the show is all about that. It's all about humans and Pokemon working together to do great things.
That's the thing that I was thinking about with the Zelda timeline as well, about how, like, there's, like, certain things where it's just like, hang on a second. It's like...
it's the scene.
Yeah. She just like lightly touches Caterpie's head and it just immediately like
ejaculates everywhere.
I wasn't gonna say that specifically. I wasn't gonna be so blunt about it.
And
but
Pikachu's just watching
that's
on.
That's the joke.
Pikachu's just watching on like, what the fuck?
No, isn't he smiling?
He's just looking like.
I like the face that you just made.
He just made a shocked face.
Yeah. I like the Metapod's like bored look. No, I like the episode where it's like, even though he has like the bored expression, it still does like the shiny anime eyes that happens during like really like sentimental scenes.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah, I think that's most of the notes that I wrote down. $1,000 for a meal. Ash hasn't beaten anyone yet. How does he even have money?
Yeah, how does he even have money? Because as of episode 5...
Maybe he just dined and dashed.
Maybe. But as
we
of
never
episode...
saw him pay for the meal.
But as of episode 5 in the anime, he hadn't actually beaten anyone in battle. Because episode 5 is when he faces Brock, and before that he didn't actually battle anyone, so therefore never got any money.
Well, he battled Samurai, but he never beat Samurai.
Yeah, Samurai was just like, you're worthy, I guess. And then he just walked off into the sunset.
Should have just punched him right in the face. Stole his sword.
Punch him
stole his Samurai outfit.
Become a highway robber.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, could you imagine like if Ash like joined Team Rocket?
That would be cool,
as like a legitimate like plot thread. That would be cool. If like, the anime needs to try new things.
I really want to see.
What am I saying? I haven't seen the anime in forever. That's why we're doing this.
I really want to see an Pokemon anime, but taken from the perspective of Team Rocket, like an evil Pokemon.
I want to see a Pokemon game from the perspective of Team Rocket.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like maybe not pure Pokemon RPG style, where top down fighting things, but perhaps organizing Team Rocket and that sort of stuff.
Or maybe just or like a premise where you kidnap Pokemon, and that's like, you don't actually battle, you just steal the Pokemon, and you steal a certain amount each like stage or whatever, or each section of the game.
Maybe. I think it would be more interesting if like you had to organize the operations of Team Rocket and build up the Team Rocket empire.
Sounds like a simulator game.
It could be a sim game.
Yeah, I kind of like the RPG aspect. They should have a little bit of RPG.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like maybe half RPG, half simulator.
Something more like XCOM. Have you ever played XCOM?
I've never played XCOM.
So XCOM is a turn-based tactical shooter, but I'm not talking about the tactical shooter part. When you're not in the tactical shooter X section, there's a section where you get to upgrade your forces and upgrade your base and control the operations of XCOM.
Yeah.
So there'll be 2 phases in the game. The phase where you get to control the operations, and then the mission phase where you get to control the missions. That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah. I don't think we have anything else to really talk about, other than the one scene where, like, Pikachu's getting, like, tortured during his, like, workout, getting, like, charged with and Ash is just like, you're doing great, Pikachu's like, we're gonna do this. It's like, what do you mean you're gonna do this? You're getting, like, a slight workout on the bike, Pikachu's being, like,
Ash is just like, if I can go through this, you can too, Pikachu! And all Ash is doing is just, like, fucking...
He's riding a bike!
He's not riding a bike, he's pushing a water wheel, but, like, he's just basically running up steps. That's essentially what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's the exercise that he's doing.
So he's getting a workout.
And Pikachu, in the meantime, is being electrocuted with millions upon millions of volts straight to the nipples.
Yeah. To the nipples? Is that what those cheek things are?
No, it was just his cheek sacs.
Okay. Because that'd be... Could you imagine, what would it be like to have nipples on your cheeks? You just flickety-flack them.
Sensual.
You just flickety-flack them.
Lickety-lick them.
Okay, we're ending the podcast here. Alright, goodbye everyone.